Welcome to Your City at Work, your program about local government departments and services. Your City at Work is a production of the City of Oshkosh and Oshkosh Community Media Services.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on Your City at Work, a chance for viewers to see what's going on in Oshkosh's departments and the latest projects and news. Today we've got a great show lined up. I have David Buck and Darryn Burich here with me today from the Planning Department to talk about a new zoning ordinance update that's going on. And I also have Julie Kiefer in here to tell us a little bit about what's going on in the Parks and Senior Center. So let's get to our first guests, Darryn and David. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure. Thanks for having us.
So we're here to talk about the zoning ordinance update that's going on, a big rewrite project that we have happening. So first, for people who don't know, can you just tell us a little bit about what a zoning ordinance is and what it does?
Sure. At its basic, we like to think it's the most important document in the community, because what it does is it regulates development in the community. And really, it establishes character. So if you go amongst all the cities in the state and the nation, each city has its own zoning ordinance, which creates a unique character for the community. That's what our zoning ordinance does, just in concept. Now, in basic, what zoning does is it takes the entire city and divides it out into districts, and within each district it establishes what type of use can be within that district. For instance, red is generally commercial, yellow is residential, gray and blacks those are typically your industrial. And what happens, each of those districts has different types of intensity of uses. So that's what the zoning ordinance does. It divides it into different districts and separates the uses. And then within each of those districts, it establishes standards for development within each of those districts.
Okay, I see. So this new zoning ordinance update, what's being proposed with that? When was the last time that something like this was done?
The last time we did a major update to the zoning ordinance was in 1997. It had come on the heels of us adopting or doing an update to our comprehensive plan. Our comprehensive plan is one of our most important community guiding documents, and from that you typically follow up your comprehensive plan with a zoning ordinance, because your zoning ordinance helps you implement the vision of the community. So that was last done in 1997. We did we did our comprehensive plan in 2005. We should have updated our comprehensive plan or our zoning ordinance after the comprehensive plan, but we haven't done it, and now we're proposing to do it.
Okay, so why is this so important to the community that the update is being proposed right now?
Well, it really gets back to that one of the first things I said. What the zoning ordinance does, it determines what your community looks like and really how it functions. So from a community standpoint, anytime you're out in the community and you say, how did that get there? Why does that look like that? It all relates back to the zoning ordinance. We just had a new development up on Jackson that went in, a new commercial development, and I've been getting calls from some of the development community going, how did that, why does that look like that? I had to do this. Well, the zoning ordinance permitted that particular use to occur the way it is. Mm-hmm. So it's a very important document. It helps determine how your community is going to look to not only internally to its own residents, but the world as the people drive through the community. As we're we brand ourselves as the event city, mm-hmm. So we bring in all these tourists in, and our zoning ordinance will help portray how our community standards are to those people coming into the community.
Excellent. And so moving on a little bit more to the process of the steps that we're going to be taking to do this update. Can you tell us a little bit more about the steps that are involved in the update process? David, maybe you can help us.
Sure. Well, really the zoning code update is two steps. Mm-hmm. One is going to be the actual ordinance language, which is the written language that's in the municipal code. The zoning ordinance is chapter 30 of the municipal code. So the first step is to do the actual ordinance language, and then the second step to follow up with that is to change the map that Darryn referred to before. Mm-hmm. The map puts those regulations on top of every property in the city, and then obviously the regulations are what uses, as Darryn had said, can go in those districts, how big the setbacks have to be, what things have to look like, how much green space, parking, signage. So there's really the two steps. Both of them are very similar. Obviously, you have to identify issues and opportunities with our current code. Check it against the comprehensive plan for the city. We did a visioning exercise in 2009. You have a vision report. There's a lot of small area plans. All those things could be funneled into what's really the tool to get all those visions in place, which is the zoning code is that tool. After that's all identified, we would prepare a draft, gather more input, go through review processes, revise it, and then hopefully adopt it, and then do the same thing all over again with the map. So you would wait for the regulations would not come into effect until after the map was addressed as well.
Okay.
So it's a two-step, but really it's identify issues and create the document.
Right, so although it's only a two-step process, there actually is a lot more that goes into each of those steps as far as getting to your finishing point here.
Definitely.
The one thing I want to add on top of that, this is the city zoning ordinance. And what we're going to do is, it's this odd thick. And we're going to take this ordinance completely apart and analyze each and every district, each and every provision in here to determine do we need to keep some of these provisions? Do we need to adjust some of these provisions? Do we need additional zoning districts? Do we need to get rid of some of the zoning districts? One of the issues we've been having is with the university. We don't have a university-specific zoning district, and that creates some issues for us. Then you start to look at some of our commercial and industrial districts. There's a lot of sameness. The ordinance is pretty much, it creates the same development style within all these districts. And when we start to look at should there be differences between a highway commercial district and that of a small neighborhood business district. So those are the type of things that we're going to be looking at. And on top of that, we'll be looking at one of the ones that we'll be spending some time on is actual signage. We get a lot of concerns about signage in the community, so we're going to take a hard look at signage as well.
Great. And so throughout this whole process, who's involved in it? Who are the people that are working on this besides obviously the two of you?
Well, obviously the public is involved in a lot of ways, but also key stakeholders. You have stakeholders in the development community and institutional organizations throughout the community, the university, a lot of the state and county governmental offices, the school district, residents and property owners, neighborhood associations. All of those groups are actively involved, especially in the input gathering sessions and the review
And I understand
of the
you
draft.
just recently had one of those. Actually, it was yesterday, kind of like a public
Yes.
workshop for people to come and share their ideas. Can you tell us about that and how that went?
Sure. Well, yesterday we had, the city has contracted Vanderwall and Associates out of Madison, a planning firm, to assist us with our code update. And they were here all day yesterday. Starting in the morning, we were doing focus groups, 10 to 12 people in each focus group, focused on economic development, the development community, government and other institutions, and kind of doing sort of input sessions directly with those stakeholders and what they're interested in. And then they did some council interviews, interviewed city staff. We had the public workshop, as you alluded to, in the evening, and that they just introduced the project to the public and received some very initial input from them. And then we had an officials workshop after that, where it was members of the council and boards and commissions that actively work with zoning to get their input and also to let them know what's coming forward.
So a long day for you guys
It was
yesterday.
a long day.
And will we be having these kind of workshops coming up in the future too?
Yes, you will. There is several open houses that'll take place. Obviously one with the ordinance and then one with the map. So we're hoping also to have the public hearings, usually joint meeting with the Plan Commission and some other boards and commissions. Public hearings are obviously another spot where the public can come out, not quite as active as the workshops, but and then also in the council review and adoption process, there's always an opportunity to speak and give your input as well. And so that'd be for both stages, the map and the text.
Right. So total for this whole process, how long, what's the timetable for when we get to the finished product here?
Probably a little over 12 months. We're hoping to be complete. We just started, obviously, really started yesterday. and we're hoping to be complete in the fall or winter of 2014. That would be complete. We're hoping by summer to have the text of the ordinance written, and then we would go through the summer to the winter of 2014 to adopt the map, and then presuming early 2015, they would all go into effect.
Okay. As this process is taking place, how is the public going to be notified, and how are they going to know what's going on and what's taking place?
Well, our website is sort of the big thing. Also, obviously, the newspaper. We do some literature drops or flyers at key locations, the libraries, senior center. We don't attach them to telephone poles or anything, but media services is always an excellent resource, as well as potential for social media, which is something we've been looking to really get more into with our department, to disseminate that information that way.
So there really isn't a lack of ways for people to get involved and kind of give their input. Besides these workshops, how else can people kind of give their opinions or their ideas?
Oh, they can feel free to stop in at the Planning Services office. They can give me a call or Darryn a call, or an email. And we're always welcome to talk to anybody about the zoning code, the update, their concerns, or sort of their goals that they'd like to see come out of the process.
Sure, and let me add on to that. Like yesterday when we had the public workshop, I had a resident call me who had some concern. He lives around the university area and had some concerns about the college rental signs, the for rent signs, and it's something that we've heard concerns over the years on that, but our ordinance hasn't been the strongest with regard to allowing us to regulate some of that, and there's some loopholes in there. So what we're going to do as part of this process, we're going to be looking at updating that particular provision of the code to address some of those concerns. The other thing that David's referred to as a little bit is that is the website and the web presence. We want to figure out how we can better interact with the public using the website and get some of those concerns, and if somebody has any issues, that they can put those concerns somewhere on the website or email us. So we're working on that right now.
Oh, yeah. And another good point to make is over the last 10 years or so, since the mid-90s, since this code has been adopted, our existing code, we've gathered input throughout this whole time. We've done amendments periodically as well, but we have quite a few comments that are 20 years old, up to date, and those are all being looked at as well when we look to update this. So if you've given comments in the past, we still have those.
All right. I think it's excellent that you guys are trying to get on the level of the people who live here and kind of get more personal with them, and maybe even on a one-on-one basis. Like you said, people are calling you personally, so and your door is always open. So I think that's awesome that people are able to do that. So moving on, how do these changes ultimately get approved? You might have already brushed upon that. Could you maybe elaborate a little bit more?
Sure. Well, ultimately they get approved. They go to the city's plan commission, who make a recommendation to the city council, and the city council adopts them as a it wouldn't be a text amendment, but they adopt the text of the code. So ultimately it's the council that adopts it, but there's a lot of different recommendations coming before that. The biggest one is from the Plan Commission, who has to administer, well, we administer the code, but they're quite involved with the zoning ordinance. And
those are at a minimum what we'd have to do, but we're also going to the level, because so many other boards and committees are utilize the zoning ordinance or are impacted by the zoning ordinance. We'll also be getting input from the Landmarks Commission, from the Board of Zoning Appeals, Sustainability. Sustainability is something that's probably lacking in our current ordinance because it wasn't really addressed at the time. So we're going to be involving other boards and committees and getting opinions from them as we move forward in this process.
Excellent. And I know you were kind of pushing people towards your website. What can residents find when they go to your website? I know there was a frequently asked questions and a timetable maybe.
There's a timeline. There's links to our current code, our comprehensive plan. As a draft code is adopted, there will be links to that as well. PowerPoint presentations from public workshops or from the officials workshop. And that's the kind of thing you'll see. Whatever we can really fit on there that we're working on, we're going to put out there.
Right, and I understand that people are even able to subscribe to an email list that they can receive updates on the plan, and that's with the contractor, is that correct? Or not the contractor,
Consultant? Yes.
Yes, okay.
That's correct.
Great. And then was there anything else you'd like to add that we didn't cover?
Other than we're just happy to finally be moving on, updating this ordinance, because we think it's sorely needed, and we're happy that the community with the budget process has allowed us to hire a consultant to move forward on this. So we're very optimistic, and we're eager to get going and get this new ordinance adopted.
Excellent. Well, thank you both so much for coming in and telling us about this today. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking with Julie Kiefer from Parks and Senior Center to find out what's going on over there. You're watching Your City at Work.
Hi, I'm Mayor Burich, and I'm asking for your help. The city has several boards and commissions that play important roles in just about every aspect of local government. Whether it's the Parks Board or the Landmarks Commission, these and other boards act as a forum for citizens to address their concerns and questions about Oshkosh city government. The boards also provide members the opportunity to make positive suggestions to the council or city staff to move the city forward. So here's where we need your help. For our city to work effectively, we need active citizen participation. Many of our boards and commissions currently need members. We're asking for just a few hours of your time each month to serve on one of our boards or commissions and help to ensure a strong democratic process. So please consider serving on a city board or commission. For an application, visit the city website, stop by the city manager's office in City Hall, or call 236-5000. Thank you for your interest, and we look forward to your possible involvement.
Hello everyone, and thank you again for joining us on Your City at Work. I'm your host, Emily Mikowski, and now I'm joined by Julie Kiefer from the Senior Center and Parks, here to tell us about some fun events that we have coming up here in this fall.
Right.
So first up, I know we were talking about the Zooloween Boo. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what we can expect this year?
Sure. Zooloween Boo is a great opportunity for people to come down to the zoo and have a nice Halloween celebration. It takes place Saturday and Sunday, October 19th and 20th from 11 to 4, so you have 2 days to choose from. You can come both days, I suppose, and it takes place at the zoo again.
Excellent. So what kind of activities can we look forward to at the event?
Well, the zoo is full of activities. So, we ask you can come in your costume. There are games, there's trick-or-treat stations throughout the zoo. There's a costume contest. We also get a tent. So inside the tent there are crafts, music, there's a bounce house. So there's a lot of different activities as you walk through.
Wide range of things that you can look forward to.
Right.
And I understand there's going to be some entertainment there as well.
There will be entertainment. So there is a pretty good schedule of entertainment as you go through the day on Saturday and Sunday. There is family, music. David Landau, Dana McCarthy, they're both people who have been down at the Leach this summer. There's a costume contest both days. Ooh. Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 3 in the tent. Miller and Mike will be there. They've been at family night, I think, before as well. And then throughout the zoo, there are clowns coming. Then on Sunday, Cookie, Mr. Billy, also a costume contest from 2 to 3, and more clowns and the juggler with the big yellow shoes.
Oh.
So some people who have been to parks events before and people should be familiar with and know.
Good, so like a fan favorite type of thing.
That's right, exactly.
Do we need a ticket or anything for the event? Or?
Well, you can always show up that day. I would recommend getting tickets in advance just because sometimes that line can be really long and wrapped around the zoo. So it's really great if you do pick it up in advance. The tickets cost $3 for kids that are 2 to 17. They're $5 for adults, who are 18 or older, and any children that are 1 and under are free. And those tickets are available in advance at the Parks office, which is at 805 Witzel Avenue, or at Festival Foods in Oshkosh.
Excellent. And I know you were kind of telling me a little bit before the interview too how where all the money goes to and what this event is supporting. Can you tell us about that?
Right. So this event is the biggest fundraiser that the zoo does, and so all monies do go back right to the zoo. So any other programming or funding, fun things that you do at the zoo are made possible from this event. So, well, in part from this event. So, yeah, it's really a great. It's a wonderful opportunity to not only have a great time with your family, but also to help a fundraiser for the zoo. So
excellent. And I know you said it's Saturday and Sunday, October 19th and 20th. Is there any plan if it rains or anything, or hopefully not snows?
Well, that event takes place rain or shine. There is a tent for part of it, but yeah, if you're going to go to the trick-or-treat stations or play some of the games, a lot of that stuff is outside. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the trick-or-treat stations? Are people or businesses are able to sponsor them?
They are, and so that is a wonderful opportunity for businesses who want to get a word out, especially those that serve families, serve children. You can set up your station, you can have a banner, in front saying who your business is. You can give away little things along with your candy. So the kids would come and get the candy, but then also you can kind of do a little promotion as well. So we're always looking for more sponsors in trick-or-treat stations, and if people are interested, they can call Jenny at 236-5089.
Okay. So once more, if you just want to kind of recap the event a little bit for me.
Sure. Again, Zooloween Boo takes place Saturday and Sunday, October 19th and 20th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's at the Menominee Park Zoo. Tickets are available in advance if you would like at the Parks Department, 805 Witzel, or at Festival Foods in Oshkosh. You can also buy in the day of. They are $3 for kids 2 to 17, $5 for adults 18 and older, and free for children 1 and under.
Excellent. And it's actually kind of nice, the timing of it too during the day, that it's not too late at night, so you're not out in the dark running around doing the trick-or-treat, that kind of thing.
Right, yeah. So it's a really nice time of day, and you can kind of come and go as you need. You don't necessarily have to be there for the whole time.
Great. So do we want to talk a little bit more about other things going on with the park?
Yeah.
I know the pool is closed right now.
The pool is closed now, and the zoo and the amusement centers are both closed now as well, except for this event. So the Leech does have some upcoming events, and those would be rentals of the Leech. So you definitely can check the Leech website for additional information, which is www.leech amphitheater. And but the golf course is still open. And they're now using their fall rates, so it's a really good time to go. Last year people golfed into December, so
really?
As long as the weather stays nice, they will continue to be open, and you can always call in advance to see if they're open or get tee times. And also wanted to let you know that they were aerated. The greens were aerated about 4 weeks ago, so they're in really great shape right now. Excellent. So it's a great time to go golfing. They also have a website, which is www.lakeshoregolfcourse.net, or you can get there through the city website.
Okay.
If you go to the Parks tab and then to the golf course.
Wonderful. I can't think of a better time to be golfing either, just because I know I'm not a big fan of the humidity and the sun beating down on me and sweating while I'm golfing. So it is perfect weather right now. So.
Yeah, it would be a great time to go golfing.
So we do have about 5 minutes left. So I know you're also a part of the Senior Center. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what's going on there, a little update?
I will. We have some upcoming programs that I did want to highlight as long as I was here. There will be flu clinics going on the Wednesdays in October, the 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 23rd from 9 to 12. That's totally drop-in. That'll be at our South Building at 200 North Campbell Road. We're assuming that Medicare will cover most of those vaccines, but there is a small cost if you're not covered under that plan.
And you don't need any appointment or anything
No,
for
you can
that?
just walk in.
Okay, great.
We also have a program about managing money in retirement. This one is specifically targeted at how to maintain your standard of living and how to help plug some of those shortfalls in case you're finding that that's where you're going to be. That's Friday, October 18th at 10 a.m. That also takes place in the South Building. Providence Financial will be the one doing the presentation, and we would like you to pre-register if you can by calling 232-5300. Now, everybody's been hearing about the new Affordable Health Care Act. There will be a presentation on Tuesday, October 22nd, which will be informational, not a political debate about it at all.
We don't need any security there.
Right. 7 p.m. It is presented by the American Association of University Women. It's basically going to be there. There'll be a health insurance person, someone from the county, and then also various administrators from healthcare facilities to talk about what some of those changes might mean to people, especially seniors.
Definitely useful, because I know a lot of people are having trouble with educating themselves on that.
Right. So when we have big changes like that, it really is helpful to have someone else kind of walk you through it and talk to you about it. So again, that's Tuesday, October 22nd. They're serving light refreshments at 6:30 and then starting at 7.
Okay.
On Thursday, the 24th at 10 a.m., the Community Foundation will be back at our building talking about legacy planning, and for those people who think, boy, I hardly have enough to give to my own family, sometimes there are ways through planned giving to do something for a organization that you care a lot about and to do something for your family. So some funds start with as little as $250. So that's another great opportunity. And then we're also having a Halloween dance on Friday, October 25th from 1 to 3. Cost is only $3, and there'll be music and refreshments.
Oh, fun. So when people get done with the Zooloween Boo, they can head over to the Senior Center a few days later.
Right. Yes. So that's from 1 to 3. That'll be in the North Building at 234 Campbell.
Okay.
And the last thing, our Friends organization is having a spaghetti dinner on Saturday, November 2nd. Tickets are on sale now at the Senior Center. They are $8 for adults, $5 for children, and I think children 3 and under are free. And anybody who is interested in kind of eating together and then going to the Oshkosh Area Community Band Concert is welcome to kind of meet, and they give us a call ahead of time. We'll kind of reserve them a spot together so that they can carpool and go to that band concert together as well. So that's another really great opportunity, and that spaghetti dinner fundraiser is for Oshkosh Senior Center programs and activities. And so we encourage the public to come. That's not just for seniors, that's for anybody who doesn't want to cook that night and would like to eat spaghetti.
Wonderful. Well, you have a ton of events going on this month and into November too, so a lot to look forward to with the fall season here.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming in today, Julie, and telling us all these fun things. And that's all the time we have for today on Your City at Work. Make sure you check us out on City Cable 10 for all of your government programming and your other government meetings as well. Or you can check us out on OshkoshCommunityMedia.org. You can also listen to us on the radio on 101.9 WOCT. And then make sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter for all of your community and government updates as well. Or you can even check out our YouTube channel for past episodes of your favorite programs like Your City at Work. So thank you again for joining us on Your City at Work, and we'll see you next time.